It's been a long time since I've posted on YouTube. I posted my first video over 12 years ago and thought I would start a homebrew channel. That never panned out to much of anything, and I haven't brewed beer in over 2 years, so I am selling that gear soon. I'm now recording my newest project, a budget classic car build. This car was listed as a 1982 El Camino Amarillo. I looked that up and I couldn't find a lot about it. However, I was still interested, so I called up my buddy Randy and went over to his house to borrow a ramp trailer and showed him a couple of the pictures, and he looked at the front end and said, "Oh, I don't think that's an 82. So I grabbed the trailer, I went back home, and I started to look things up, and sure enough, the front end anyway was from an 81. So at that point, I still didn't know what I was buying. Am I buying an 81 El Camino, an 82 El Camino, some body swap parts on it? I don't know yet. I show up and talk to the guy, look at the car. The car looks good. The frame is in pretty good condition. There's no real rust on it. There's not a lot of rust on the body, not a lot of Bondo in the body, at least that I can tell right now. He originally thought he had the title. Turned out he didn't have the title, so he knocked $200 off the price for that. I told him if he found the title before I titled it, I'd give him $200 for that title. Anyway, I pick up the car, get it home after a 35-mile trip, and I run the VIN numbers on it. Turns out I've got a 1981 GMC Caballero Amarillo edition. I don't know what the Amarillo edition is. It might even be under a base model. There's no AC on it or anything special. I was pretty surprised, though, when I looked up the 81 Caballero on the internet, and they only made 4,380 of those. I couldn't find how many Amarillo editions, but 4,380, I don't know. I think they made probably 43,000 plus El Caminos. But I've got a one of 4,380 vehicle that's in pretty good condition that we're going to put back on the road. Here's what I bought. There she is. That's my new project. 82 El Camino. Looks like a LS swap. She ain't in bad shape. Frame's in real good shape. They put new floor fans in it, but they kind of suck. We'll fix that shit. A little bit of Bondo. Not a lot of rust. Pretty much 4 flats when I picked it up. This will be a fun little project. And it doesn't even smell. The next day I degreased the engine bay and gave her a bath. After that, I aired up the tires again, and we rolled it into the shop. After I ran the VIN numbers and found out what I had, I poked through the interior a little, and in the glove box, lo and behold, I find 3 Caballero badges. I will not be putting those back on the car. Over the next 3 or 4 days, I started tear down on the car, and here's where I am so far. It's hard to tell here, but the original color was metallic navy blue. I wish it was still that color, but I don't mind the gray. Here's a little tour. 81 GMC Caballero. The front end all tore down, suspension's off of it. Gotta wait for it to warm up so I can paint this son of a gun. Get that all cleaned up. It's really not in bad shape. Somebody painted on her a long time ago. There's a hole back there in the heater box. We'll fix that or replace it. Very little rust, just surface rust. There's not really a lot of rust to speak of on it. Body mounts look good up on the front of the cab. This shit here's not good. Fix that. Glass is all good. Need weather strippings on the doors for sure. This thing's a leak. Interior is not horrible. Cleaned her up a little bit. Took the seats out. They did a real shit job on the floor pans. Let's see if I can see that. Yeah, my light's messing up. I don't think it'll show under here. Yeah, we'll get a shot of that sometime. May have to call this one Pinhead. It's got so many sheet metal screws sticking out of it. We'll peek back into the smuggler's tray. Smuggler's den, whatever they call that. Spare tire sits back there. It's got its own little seat belt to keep it secured. One of the coolest things. Who needs air conditioning when you got a rear window that opens up like that? Love it. Keeping it as long as I can get the seal up. They did a real shit job trying to seal it. They had to pull that whole glass out and redo it all. Door panel's not in bad shape. That screw just came out. I need to look at the mileage on the thing. Whatever it is, plus 100 or 2. Oh. Let's get the light in there. Can't get the light on it. Ain't got no gas in it. Can't tell what that is. It's a 63, 163,000. I don't know. Yeah, 63,390. Don't think that's original. I know that's not the original steering wheel. That's a Chevrolet out of an El Camino. This is a GMC. Crap under here. Pedals don't look bad, but I know that ain't all. This thing is not got 63,000 miles on it. Got a lot of stuff replaced on it. Amarillo, whatever edition that is. I don't know if that is below a base model or what. It's a non-AC car. Got some kind of little stereo doohickey or something in there. Or maybe that's just a clock. Might be just a clock for all I know. Hell, I don't know. Didn't come with ignition sticks. Didn't come with any keys, so I got new cylinders and for the ignition and the doors on the way. Seats didn't turn out too bad when I cleaned them up a little bit. I'm guessing they're out of a Monte Carlo, something like that, but they do got a ashtray on the back. So if you got somebody in the smuggler's den, they can smoke back there and at least put their ashes out and not get them on the carpet. Yep, that's where it is right now. Parts everywhere. I need another dang shelf to put parts on out here. Hoping to order my parts for the front end today, and I don't know. We'll go from there. If it warms up enough. It's 20 degrees out. About 38 out here in the shop. Not been bad to work, but if it warms up enough, I need to get that front end cleaned up and painted. Get all this junk replaced. Actually, the rotors and the calipers aren't bad. The brakes were looking new. Springs have been cut down. Not sure what I'm going to do there. If I'm going to replace them with proper V8 springs, because I think this was a V6 car originally. Those I'm sure are not the original springs. They might be V8 springs cut down to lower. But anyway, I'm ordering new upper lower control arms, whole new tie rods, sway bar links and all that stuff. I'm just going to go OEM on it for now, but on those, I don't know if I'm going to replace the springs, use those springs, or put some QA1 coilovers up on the front, spend that money now. Eventually I'll do that anyway, but maybe I'll do it now. Brakes worked on it, which was amazing. Everything turned free. Brake lines don't look bad. Fuel lines, from what I saw, don't look bad. I'll have to replace the fuel tank. It actually looks pretty good too, but if I put an LS in it, got to have a sump in it for that fuel pump. But that's where she is. Peace.